You Met Me was friggin' canceled.
So I
Yeah.
went ahead and started the recording. I'll just ask Vaxi to edit it out or something so that
Oh God.
no. I like
Oops.
it only just started just now. We can have like a pre-show
Okay.
going on, but
Appreciate.
a pre-show. We got all the spicy things that happen backstage, but we're gonna go ahead
Backstage talk.
backstage
Oh
pass,
no.
Okay.
catch what happens behind the
Yeah, for
scenes.
what iDOL cheeky.
For
This
Idol
is
Cheeky,
this is the pre-show MC corner.
but I'm Metal
Yeah.
Momoko. See, there were multiple Metal Momoko memes that just that like all of it was just that. But I'm Metal Momoko. But it's Metal Momoko. There's no reason for it to
I was like,
exist. It just does.
What is this? I was like, what is it? It's Metal Momoko.
What
Are you stupid?
are you still looking for an answer for an explanation? That's all it is.
It's just Metal Momoko.
Okay.
Okay. We
Yeah, we're gonna
are
get
we
started.
good?
All right, in three.
Okay.
Hello, everybody, to the Idol Master Subs channel. We are back for the January wrap up. We're gonna do something like this as a regular thing. We're gonna wrap up everything that happened in the past months related to Idol Master content. All branches, nothing will be spared, at least as much to our ability. I'm here with Show and Metal. And if ever we do get more co-hosts that will volunteer, it just so happened that right now was like the most available time for us to gather up. So we're gonna be talking a lot about topics that we deemed notable in the past months, the good and the bad, because we got to be objective, and basically things that we find notable to look back at. This is what happened in Idol Master in this month. So I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about. I'm pretty sure you guys took some notes.
Yeah, I've got a couple notes going on here.
Yeah, I'm going off my memory on some of the more important things that happened. So please excuse me if I bring something up that was from like December, because if I remember correctly, before we started, you said that we were also going to cover a little bit of late December.
Yeah, a little bit of late December.
Like, yeah. So again, I do apologize if I bring something up, and it was from like an earlier time period because so much happened in January that I could end up mixing some stuff up, so I do apologize.
All right. So I think one of the things we could do is start off is with one of the, I can't say odd, probably unique things that happened back in January, or like back in the end of the year, moving over to January in general. And that's the wedding fury that happened at the end of the year 2019, crossing over to 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So around like the last 4 months of 2019 and moving over to January 2020, there was an astonishing number, an amazingly high number of Idolmaster Seiyu suddenly announcing their marriage. I think this is like something that goes along with announcing your marriage on the start of the new decade, because you know you want to do it for new luck, or announcing marriage at the same time as others say you, so that you know you feel more secure about yourself, so that you won't get like responses from people. I mean, Idolmaster doesn't really have that culture of being angry when their seiyus get married, but you know people want to be very safe. But it really was a big thing that happened at the last part of the year, over to January 2020. It's like afterwards you'd wake up, look around Twitter. Okay, who's married now? Who got married today? Mika Jogasaki got married yesterday. Minami got married yesterday. Kirari did. Okay, who's next? So Hibiki got married.
I think Rika also got
Yeah,
married.
Rika got married. Hibiki got married to the voice actor of freaking Percival from Grand Blue Fantasy, and then friggin' Akane's VA from Million Live also got married in January. You're like, you wake up and you're looking at Seiyu's related announcements. You're like, oh, is this another marriage? And like we're on our tiptoes now. It was wild, to say the least.
Yeah, it was like a very, very weird coincidence. By the way, just to like preface it, we're happy for every single one of them. We hope
We
that
are
they
so
live the
happy.
best lives that they absolutely can. It is always a wonderful occasion when people get married, especially to someone that they absolutely hold near and dear to themselves. But there's just something in me that feels like that this was definitely planned. Like, there's no way that so many like voice actors from the same franchise are getting married, are announcing that they're getting married around the same time, and not have at least talked to each other and just been like, yo, we should probably like do this all at the same time, like for any reason, like you said, Reno, like how this announcing your marriage at the start of the new decade is a sign of good luck. They probably wanted to just do something really cute regarding that. So yeah, like congratulations to all of them. Very happy for all of them. But this long string of like announcements of their marriage, there's no way that it wasn't planned.
I was actually thinking it was gonna continue because like afterwards you got like Akane, and then like the strangest thing, or not exactly the strangest thing, the most interesting about all those announcements was you'd find who they got married to. Like I said, the thing that shocked me the most, because I was still quite into Grand Blue Fantasy at the time, was that Hibiki married the dude from Grand Blue Fantasy. She married Percival, and I think like the thing that was the most telltale sign was there were these talk shows that Nu was in, and Nu would be like picking on Ryota, or she'd be like trying to notice, hey, Ryota's wearing this, hey, Ryota's wearing that. And I'm like, why are you so interested in it? And I'm like, let Percival do his job. And then okay, 2 years ago, 2 years later, she's now married to the Lord of the Flames, and sure, and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is coming out 2 days from now. So,
so what you're saying is that Hibiki's gonna be a guest character in season 2,
just to support her husband.
Let's go.
And then Minami, freaking okay, Aya Suzaki, voice actor for Minami, she freaking marries the producer of Million Radio. Like what? Like what? She got herself someone within the industry, and it's like within Imas. It's like it's a staff member for Million Radio, and he produces Million Radio. I think he also does a couple of programs for CG. He's just basically Bamco staff concerning some of the radio shows. But again, while the rest of the announcements for their marriage might have been like, no. Okay. How could I forget this? Freaking Rika Tachibana goes cougar mode extreme, and she marries this dude from a baseball team who's 8 years younger than her. 8 years younger. That's wide. That gap is wide.
I mean, dog. True love is true love. True love is true love. Sometimes the gaps just don't exist.
Yeah, that's true.
It was freaky because Rika married that guy from the baseball team, and then I think also Mika Jogasaki's VA also married someone from like the baseball team she rooted for. So like everyone, there was this joke on Twitter there: baseball equals marriage. So do I sign up for a team, or are we gonna look for the? Because Million Live also did collabs with baseball teams. Now Yokoyama got in, Pion got in. So we're thinking, oh god, these Million Live girls are gonna start marrying those guys too. And it was just a joke. We're all having fun. But again, just to echo Metal's statement. We are happy. We are not at all going to tear our merch in half. We want the best for them, and we hope that they can live as happily as they can throughout their married lives. Because everyone was kind of doom and gloom. Like in the CG Reddit, I caught like some people who probably didn't know how things work around. They're like, oh god, Minami just got married. Mika just got married. Does that mean we're not gonna get any like Mika and Minami content? No. The All Stars have been married for like the longest of times, and they've still chunking out songs. Like Makoto.
Yeah, because realistically, like for them, all of this is their job. Like it would be stupid if just because you got married doesn't mean that you just quit your job. It's like no, it's like if anything now it's like
you have more support. Harder. Yeah.
Now you gotta support other people. Now you're gonna be supporting a husband, or even more so eventually down the line if you're considering it. Now you gotta support a kid. So if anything, it's a win-win for everyone. It's like now the VAs are gonna work harder and they're gonna live their happiest lives with their significant others and raising a family.
I think the problem goes when you're having a family. Not really. I mean, Hiromi Hirata, the voice actor for Makoto, #2kids, and she recorded All for One for All pregnant. So Hiromi Hirata is like trooper mom. She's going in on it. I think Akiko Hasegawa is also 2 kids. Is she, or just 1 so far?
Yeah, just recently, I think it was Yukiho.
Yeah, Yukiho.
Her current
freaking
yeah. She recently had a kid.
She just gave birth recently. That's why Yukiho. That's why AS is returning to schedule. AS is now, they got the lives, they got Master Album. Everyone who was in maternity leave now returned. Everyone who's like super wife duties are now back. That's why we got AS content and MLTD too. So yeah, don't think that just because Minami got married, Mika got married, we're not gonna get any Mika content or
Yeah.
Minami content anytime soon.
If anything, I'd just say that maybe there might be a small drought if they take maternity leave eventually, but that's like further down the line.
I mean,
And
Sichi,
even then,
yeah, Sichi can
even then,
accommodate
it's
that.
like- yeah, they can validate that because they got like even within the voice cast, they got like what 80 idols. So yeah, you can.
You could
they
let
can
Minami take a
salvage
break.
it.
Yeah, let Minami take a break and just get everyone else to do something. It'll be easy. If Million Live can do it, other people can do it.
Exactly.
So that's
Yeah,
that
yeah,
topic.
Give the work to our quote unquote problematic idol now. Or maybe we'll talk about that for next month's video.
Next
yeah,
month's video.
yeah, that's for
Okay.
next month. That's
Okay.
for next month.
So moving on to the second
God.
topic for January, we're gonna move on to the shiny related topic, and that is one good, one not so good, and one kinda topic. But we're gonna start with grade 8 wing. The song selection or the song setup. We don't know a lot
Release
about it.
schedule.
Yeah, the release schedule. We don't know a lot about it. We don't know, like, if there's gonna be anything different. I think we feel like we want something different at this point because we've already gotten 2 exact albums that are in the exact same structure. I just want to see more shiny songs, to be honest, and the endless meme that doesn't die, solo waiting room. But grade 8 wing, it's gonna be stretching all the way till August, and the schedule only accommodates until Stray Light. So I don't think, like, everyone is always speculating that there's gonna be like a next unit because a new pen light color comes every single time there's a new Enza stream, but it's not happening so far. So I don't think that's gonna happen for like a new unit. It's the light blue pen light you saw in the last Enza stream thing. That's the president. Okay, that's Kaiba. So the green one is Hazuki. The light blue one is Kaiba. Then there's the general blue one for entire 283, and then there's the ones for the current unit. So we're not getting a new unit. Trust me. But we're going to move over to thinking about what do we want to see from grade 8 wing. We've had brilliant wing, good start. Not exactly something I would say is the best, because the rocks are still soft, and fragment wing could honestly just be considered one of the how much someone has improved can be quantified by how much more you remember their second performance compared to their first. What did they try new? What did they improve on? If they did something old, or if they did something same to the first one, did they improve on it? Or if they did something different, was it better? So what are your expectations for grade 8 wing? Are you probably expecting something a little more extravagant? Let me know your thoughts. Cho, let's start with you because you basically didn't talk for the entire other topic.
I'm so
Well,
sorry.
hey, I mean, if you have nothing to say, you don't have anything to say. For grade 8 wing, I don't really have any like crazy expectations for it. I feel like it's gonna be one of those situations where we're just gonna have one album that feels like a huge standout compared to everybody else's, which I feel like was what happened with Fragment Wing, because everybody's felt kind of, I don't want to say samey, but they felt very safe. And then we got Stray Light's album, and Stray Light's album just kind of blew up the second it came out.
Yeah,
Because it was just so different to everything else that we had gotten so far.
it also helps that they were the new kids on the block, so everyone was paying attention to them, essentially going, all right, what exactly is your thing? And the moment we heard the preview for Wandering Dream Chaser, it's like, oh,
And there's
that's what your thing
There's
is.
electricity shooting all around their own Kamen Rider stuff, and then there's just music blasting at full volume. Quite the impression.
True. And then what's even crazier is that it was like, okay, so maybe there's going to be kind of more of a techno group. And then we got Transcending the World, and Transcending the World is way different stylized than the Wandering Dream Chaser. Which, I guess to be fair, the Hokago Fragment Wing album was also pretty different. I mean, we had, most notably, we had Rapping Kaho.
Yeah,
on one of the
Yorimichi
tracks.
Sunset, let's go. Still my favorite.
You know,
Like, it is my favorite HCG track, mainly because it deviates, which makes me think like deviation might be a good time to it might be a good time to do some deviation right now, because if we go over to grade 8 wing and we still get the same, like, I'm pretty sure they're not going to suddenly shift and switch a lot of the genres. Like, Antika's still gonna do goth metal, Alströmer is still gonna do kawaii J-pop, but maybe now is a good time to like experiment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if maybe not to if they don't want to experiment, then I would love to see it kind of like a true realization of the first album almost. Like if they have tracks that are stylized, but now they've had almost 2 years to, essentially learn how to work off of each other and how to hone their voice. Like it'd be kind of neat to see kind of a redo of their first albums. Not that should necessarily be the focus of the album, but it'd be cool as like maybe like a side selection or like a side B kind of deal.
You know
so,
that.
so essentially, like, because the way you're wording it, it kind of reminds me of the Master Sparkle series that Million
Yeah,
Live did,
yo,
like
man.
after Theater Days came out, which is essentially that same thing where it was like make songs that more or less give off the same vibe that the original Million Live albums gave, just to show like that comparison between how like they were at first versus
Hmm.
how they are now.
Yeah, exactly.
There was also like a chance to like Master Sparkle. Speaking on Master Sparkle for a while, there was a chance to give people give girls who didn't exactly have the best of first shots a second shot. So let's say like for example, Illumination Stars currently. People can if you like rummage through the forums, rummage through like opinions of other producers. Sans Triangle, because Triangle is a great song. Illumination Stars is like falling way behind in like terms of like how much people like songs and stuff. Um, it's probably the fault of like them having such a generic theme, but you can also do like break off from their tone, and maybe they can give Illumination Stars a second shot in Grade 8 Wing. It'd be nice to see what they can do because the main trio has to at least have one really big hit, right? Somewhere, somehow. So that's the first
Or at least
topic.
Yeah.
something,
Oh, sorry, go
or at
ahead
least
before
like
we go
something
to the
that
next
can
topic.
help them like stand out a little.
Yeah,
It's fine, it's
stand
fine.
out.
Like maybe, yeah, because like going into what I have my expectations for this next album, I feel like it's going to be more or less very similar to what they've been doing already. Because I think at this point, the Shiny albums especially have established a formula where every unit has their theme. They're probably going to stick to it, maybe deviate a little bit with like, different forms of instrumentation and maybe some genres that could subset from that individual genre. Like, I don't know, maybe Antica could eventually go for a very heavy metal style compared to the usual like gothic rock that they go for. But aside from that, I feel like it's probably going to be very similar to how they've been doing the past two albums, which that's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time I feel like after this I think there's has to be like a pretty big change, because if there are like four album series one after the other where it's like, okay, the units are essentially doing something very similar that they've done since like 2018, that it's going to feel very stale, it's going to feel repetitive. So I think this is like their last chance to really like go safe if they want to, because I think after this one, there's going to be more expectations
They have
of,
to switch
okay,
it
maybe
up.
spice it up
Yeah,
a
they'll
little
have to
bit.
switch it up at that point.
That's why I'm saying they should probably just go for solos after
Well,
this.
well, I think like looking back on it, Fragment Wing was very integral to Thanks Flapping Day as a thing because Thanks Flapping Day was like, or if you ever checked out like when they did the Kanchasai performance, what they do is they'd play out or read out the Thanks Clapping Day scenario before singing a Fragment Wing song. So I'm thinking like Brilliant Wing is integral to Wing, plain old Wing, and then like Fragment Wing is integral to TFT. Maybe they might be doing something where they're gonna introduce something new to be integral to Grade 8 Wing, just so we can set up some mood. If they do that, cool. If they don't, then still cool. But after this, we'd like to see some variation. That's all we want to say. So that's on the topic of Grade 8 Wing.
Yeah, and I think honestly, we'll probably not see singles just yet. My bold prediction is that we'll see singles from our main three once we reach Starlit season, and that'll kind of just be like the, I don't want to say make or break period because it'll happen eventually, but it'll be like, we're gonna test the waters. Here's
Yeah.
a Sakuya single, here's a Kaho single, here's a Tenka single.
I think like solos are such a big like. There's a reason why there's so much anticipation. Just to set up the lore, the context. There's a big expectation to like how solo songs are. They're considered as the chopping block for characters within the eyes of like a vast amount of producers because you can be made or your legacy can be made depending on like one solo song alone, and it can carry you as a character. It can carry you in your fandom. Kaede, there we go. Izu just mentioned Kaede. You know, freaking Koikaze and stuff.
Yeah.
Another example is like freaking Twilight Sky by Rina. No one really likes Rina like super. She's not like super popular. She's not like super duper like high tier in terms of like how many people like her and stuff. But Twilight Sky is like one of the most loved freaking solo
Twilight
songs of
Sky has
CG.
a lot of lore to
It's
it.
such an old song, and yet people still like it a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, and of course, we got to talk about
Radio Happy. Moving over to the moving over to the 765 side, you've got freaking anything Chihaya does. Agent by Makoto. Those are legendary songs. Like when you make your own.
You got Aoi Tori back in the day, and then like when the anime came around, you got Yakusoku.
Yeah, like they Mingosu played Aoi Tori at like freaking Liz Annie, and then everyone was like, "We got to hear it," and I'm like, "Oh God, this song is probably a decade old, and it's still being played." So that's what I'm saying. It's a make or break moment, or like a chopping block moment, because they'll know you for this song, and there's a lot of Cinderella girls who are like what we just mentioned, who are blessed with songs that carry them, but there are also some Cinderella girls out there who are cursed with solo songs that couldn't carry them. I have very, very, very large contempt for people like Irie, for people like the characters who would have been nice, except they weren't given the best songs to start off.
I love Irie to pieces, but even I'll admit Apple Pie Princess, especially in 2020,
like
doesn't hold up.
What? It doesn't hold up at all. For Million Live, you have like legendary hits like freaking like Makabe already nailed it, and then she nails it again with Silent Joker, which is probably the best solo in the past 5 years. Well, and then like it's weird because
Dear.
Yeah, Dear does like that where freaking Konami just nailed herself to the ground with that one. She can never won herself with that one. So solos. That's why we're looking forward to them that much. So
it also is a way to just be able to get to know the characters better, and be able to express themselves as individuals. Because like a common problem that people had with Side M until like they had their solos was that it was really hard to get to know the characters individually, or at least how they would be, or how their vibe is outside of their groups.
Which is perfectly explainable in solos. So again, it also just lets them do what they want. It also just lets them express themselves as individuals. You have Antika, you have Illumination Stars, Astromeria, HCG, and the friggin' Stray Light. But what if you gave Kogane the creative, freedom to make a song about her that's not goth metal? Because there's nothing about Kogane that screams goth metal. There's nothing about freaking Rinze that screams, Genki off the board Gatorade commercial. Like there's nothing about them that they have freedom at that point, which is what I'm saying. So that's why we're looking forward to the solos that much. We're gonna move on to the next topic for Shiny.
Bro.
Yeah, Tsubasa
Blast. Okay,
Gatorade.
Move on to the next topic. I'm sorry.
Next Shiny topic is the one that I said, the not so good topic, the limited onslaught.
Gulp.
That
like someone explain that to me, because I've heard about it, but like what's going on with that?
Okay, Cho, hit him with it, because you can explain this way better than I can.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this actually is going to date back. This is actually going to date back. We're gonna start actually with Christmas. So
okay,
we're not gonna go back
the time frame we're going for anyway.
So, going into Christmas, we had 2 limited banners in a row. 3 if you count a rerun. We had the limited Mamimi, the limited Jury rerun, and then Rinze 4. And everybody's like, okay, cool. And then we had 1 permanent banner, which was the Meguru banner. That was up for 5 days. as opposed to the usual 10, which was like kind of like,
That's
it
suspicious.
threw all of us for a loop because we're like, oh, why is this banner like just gone? Like, what happened? So we start the new year with New Year's Kiriko, and has a limited Fuyuko on it, and we're like, okay, cool. So we got limited Stray Light support, we got limited SSR4 again for Antika. Then we have at the same time the rerun of the Kogane Limited. So now, already going into the month, we have 2 limiteds coming off of a very short permanent and a couple limiteds off of that. Then we have limited Jury for 10 days, the permanent Hiyori, and now we have limited Kaho. But
So basically, y'all guys been getting nothing but limiteds.
Well, not
Yes.
exactly nothing but limited. It's but it's a stark 80% for the past 7 banners.
yeah, exactly. So to give you the time frame, to go from the beginning of December to now, we have had 1, 2, 3. We've had 9 banners, and 7 of those 9 have been limited.
Ugh.
This also doesn't account for the 5 banners that we had in the last week that were all about a day or 2 long. And those banners were just, here's all the permanent cards of a specific unit that are on Raid Up. That, to my knowledge, nobody really seemed to pull on because, well,
why bother?
exactly. It's like, why would you bother to pull on a permanent if you could just potentially pull the permanent on the limited banner when you're aiming for that?
Or wait until they eventually do subticks.
Exactly. The other, I don't want to say this is an issue because it's not necessarily a bad thing, but the crazy part is that all of the banners have been trying really hard to get you to pull. And it's not so much like because of like necessarily like character design or whatever, in a more meta sense, where the cards are just that good, even if you don't necessarily care about the card. Really good case point example was the Rinzai banner, because the Rinzai banner had, of course, her and then the Yuika card. And I guess if it matters to people, if you want to hear about those, we've covered everything except the most recent banner on the YouTube channel. So if you want to look at that, I'm sure
We'll be linking your channel in below. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. Yuika's stupidly good, and Rinzai is also stupidly good. And now we have the most recent Kaho banner, where we're pretty sure that Kaho is now the best center in the game. Like, bar none.
So it's basically like Shiny's already pre-existing issue of power creep, but now they're putting it on top of constant limited banners, and those constant limited banners come with cards that essentially just change the meta entirely.
Yes. And it's not like it. I guess the issue, in the biggest air quotes I can write right now, are that the meta is shifting like on the monthly. Like, it's shifting fast. And I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, we talked about the card before, which was the really big change, which was Mono 4.
Oh,
Mono
God.
4 came out right at the end of October going into November. And her play percentage at the top ranks was getting pretty close to like almost a little over 50 to 60% of all the top 100 teams were using her. And comparing
50.
it to all the other teams, it wasn't like a 40% belonged to somebody else. It was that 40% was distributed
Everything
among,
else.
like, 10 other cards.
Man, 50 to 60%.
For a little bit of
Yeah, if like
for a little bit of context to anyone that doesn't like know or play Shiny Colors gameplay but is familiar with other games, Mono 4 was essentially the Leroy Smith of Shiny Colors for a while.
Like 50 to 60%. If you hear that, if you hear 50 to 60% in like card games like Magic the Gathering, that's not a ban. That is a ban in standard type of level for 50 to 60%.
Or I guess if we wanted to look at it from the esports side of things, it's kind of like if you look at a game like League of Legends, where if a character is coming out of the gate with like a 60 to 70% win rate, they're probably super busted.
And like
it becomes a pick or ban situation. But in this game, you can't exactly ban.
You can't exactly ban Mono. She's there. She's always there.
So it goes from pick or ban to pick or lose.
Roll
Yes.
or lose. That's even worse.
Yeah.
Now, there are teams that can fight it, but it's just not going to compare in like the grand scheme of things. Because like the AI teams are always not necessarily amazing, but when you're trying to rank in, like it's almost no contest unless very specific trends are happening. Like I know when dance trends come up, Alstramaria tends to try to hover near the top because of how good Tenka is still, despite being pretty old. But because they have the newer Amana card, they can really stay up there because they've really solidified how that team wants to function. And it kind of goes into a weirder issue that I sort of have, which is that they're melding the meta to the point where the newer cards are just reinforcing that same meta on a new like format. And the best way I could try to explain that is that they gave us limited Chiyuki last year. And Chiyuki's whole thing is that she constantly heals you, and if you're not getting healed, you're getting essentially super meter for free.
Mm-hmm.
And so they started just copy pasting this onto the newer cards. And so now, if they're going to make new cards, it's either going to have to be the same system or it's going to be something similar but better.
Something
And
equally
we
as
can
broken.
actually we can look dead in the eyes at the two permanent banners that we've gotten in the last month or two, which were Meguru and Hiyori. Because those two are essentially retrains, to use a card game term, of the initial Illumination Hiyori and Meguru.
Reprints. There we go.
Not even reprints.
Oh, not even
they're
reprints.
They're taking the core concept and just making them better.
Okay.
It's essentially the same function but better on a different card.
Yes.
Which could have been a buff to the original card and just make something else, but I don't know. I mean, Ellie keeps making the joke that we have to fund freaking Hazuki's yacht, and I'm honestly still laughing at it. Slightly start to get annoyed by it. I'm sorry, Ellie. I gotta tell you the truth. Maybe you and I can meet somewhere and talk about that. But at least this is saying, okay, money. But if there's anything to tie it up to it, and I'm just gonna wrap this up because actually Cho probably covered the topic on his own channel way more. He did a voice chat one time that basically explains the entire problem. There was this news recently that that Bomco is just gonna basically buy out the president company of Enza. So once Bomco buys out the president company of Enza, just basically means that that's it. That's secured. Shiny is not gonna get Grimasked. Shiny is not gonna get
So essentially, Bamco is going to be full owner of Enza.
Not exactly full owner. They're gonna be they'll still have consultations from, I think, what's the name of that? Decro something Dracom there. Dracom, which is like the advisor for. I'm getting probably all this information wrong, but they're probably the advisor of like Enza and stuff. It'll just mean that Shiny is going to be more secure after they buy that president company, because Enza is being like hard carried by two games, which is currently Shiny and this weird ass baseball game. But just so that when they buy this president company, Famitsu there. Once they buy it,
which is a recurring baseball game that Bandai Namco does release. So realistically, Bamco is carrying the Enza platform.
So
on
they're just gonna buy Enza so it doesn't get Grimasked. So we'll be a little more safer.
Yeah. Oh God. Rest in peace, Grimask.
Rest in peace, Grimask. Speaking of Grimask, next topic is God. Whew, hold on, I gotta prepare myself for this one. The Mirishita Kanshasai Live. Last January.
That was crazy,
man.
Dude.
I think this is the one thing that basically made me think the most. Sans the very last topic we're gonna talk about, because that's the most important topic.
Oh yeah.
Mirishita Kanshasai basically threw us in for a loop because they did three things. One, they turned Misaki into a VTuber. That's a joke, but they just basically set her up with a 3D company.
Like
mocap, and then she was like on the screen and stuff. Second, they did something that was super freaky. So basically, in Mirishita Kanshasai, what they did was Misaki brought up categories of like song theme, and then like song idea, lyric writing, and what they'll associate the song with. So those were four categories. And they chose their answers to those categories live at the event with your like when you open up theater days and you watch the thing on the game with your phone, you can vote there. And the voting is live. So what happened was after all the dust settled, here we go. Inhale. We got a hard techno genre song about cliff climbing associated with chupacabras. And it is and it is now the duty of the same composer for most of the anniversary songs and the composer for Welcome, Dreaming, most of the theme songs for Idolmaster. It is now his responsibility to make that song. And they will play that song at Million Live 7th.
If that
is not the craziest shit
song.
I have
If that
ever
is not
heard.
Reika's theme song, then this franchise is worth nothing.
Like
That sounds like her vibe.
that is Reika's entire thing. That song better include. If Reika's not in that song, I'm sorry, I'm not. I like one of Bamko's sound producers even asked, yeah, okay, so the dude who was tasked to make the song, he was like, okay, I'll just see what the categories are about. Maybe I've done things before. I want to challenge myself. And then hard techno cliff climbing chupacabra song came up, and he's like, guys,
And he's like,
what do I do now? Guys, so he goes on Twitter, he starts talking to Taku Inoue, he starts talking to Ajurika, guys help, I don't know what to do.
He's like, fuck. I regret everything.
I have no idea what hard techno is. What's a chupacabra, guys? How do you talk about cliff climbing? He's like all over Twitter, guys help, I really
Are you
have no
talking
idea.
about- Wait, they eat goats?
Chupacabras eat goats. Okay, for a side note, I have no idea at all why Japan loves chupacabras. Like, is it like I don't understand it.
I guess it's just their fascination with like Western stuff, just in general. Especially like Western folklore, kind of like how a lot of Americans like Japanese folklore. They probably were like Western folklore, so they're like, yeah, screw it. How about this really random like Hispanic or Mexican like urban legend about some monster that eats goats?
And they turn it cute. They put chupacabras all over their shirts. They make chupacabra merch. I would have never guessed at a time 6 years ago when I started listening to Shooting Stars by Crescendo Blue and saying this is an Idolmaster branch. You would have never told me 6 years later we're going to have freaking chupacabras all over the damn theater. No,
Mountain climbing chupacabra hard techno.
hard techno. No, no. And it's the same guy who made Welcome, Dreaming, True Colors. How the hell is he supposed to do this? And they're gonna play it at 7th.
This exact situation is why I love Idolmaster.
True enough. True
Just get-
enough.
Come on, where's more of our superstition representation? When are we gonna get like Kome singing about La La Rona?
Where are we gonna get? Like, I want superstition representation. You want that? Where's like Bigfoot song? I want freaking like Loch Ness monster idol pop. Let's go. Let's go. If you're gonna go with chupacabras, why don't you go all the way? Let's freaking talk about Loch Ness monster. Talk about Bigfoot, unicorns. Although unicorns are CG thing because like
when is Konami going to rap about Mimmel the elf?
hey, you take that back. Hey.
Eve Santa Claus, please sing about Krampus.
Reno, you know damn well that would be a banger and you would listen to it all day, every day.
It would because Konami can't do anything wrong. Don't at me.
Exactly.
But that's the one thing.
You'd be hyped for that.
So that's one thing the Contra side did. The other thing was okay. This is actually legit. Like if you're an old 765 console game or like 765 All Stars P, and you followed the lore history up until now. This was unprecedented. I could not breathe when this happened. So we're thinking Mirishita Kansai, Million Live, 39 Project, even though Nu and Aki are there, Hibiki and Miki. So everyone's like, oh, Hibiki and Miki. And then off the top of my head, like straying somewhere, I'm thinking Hibiki and Miki. Oh, they were members of 961 Productions before. only Takane is missing. So since Takane is missing, I'm pretty
Wait.
damn sure there's nothing related to 961 Productions here. It's just Miki and Hibiki here. I like, you know, they're probably the two most available all stars. That's why they got them. And so the entire thing goes off with Million Live, 39 Project. Cho, let's save that for later. Jesus freaking Christ. Oh my god.
Next month, show, calm your tits.
So, yeah, it's a Kanchasai.
It's hot news.
It's hot news. It's breaking news. We'll say that for
Breaking
next
news.
month. I need to get an
Yeah.
expert on that. But
Write that. We need to write that down.
you need to write. I'm gonna write that down right now. So, thinking about it, we're going into a Million Live event. We're streaming Million Live, and Million Live songs happen, and Million Live things happen. And then they start hitting us with great songs. We get Dance Obscurite live performed for the first time without Anna because Nansu is probably busy, as Trisale members are. And then we get Primula, and then we get all these other songs. We get Music Journey and Sakashi wa Nakotaba full mode, which we didn't get because where the hell is the album that'll feature those songs? And then,
Tapping my goddamn feet.
the screens open, and we only see one thing. Freaking Dio Brando, no, freaking Kuroi, Takagi Kuroi on the screen. And then he does his spiel where he's all foolish 765 Pro Productions, and then he just goes off and he's talking about I have something none of you will ever be able to conquer, and then everyone in the crowd's like, what's he doing here? What's he talking about? Nobody told us about any of this. And then I know that nobody could have been prepared for what happened afterwards. Leon and Sheikah just walk out, and then no. That was, whew.
They fucking come in and it's like, sup?
You thought this was your show? You thought this was your show?
Y'all thought we wouldn't come back to this bitch.
Kuroi Productions comes out with a new unit called Zweiglanz. I'm not quite sure what that means in German. I just know that Zwei means two. Glanz might mean like glamour or something. I'm not sure. Maybe if a German national can help us out with that. But well, it fits because Sheikah is Austrian, and Austrian is around the German area. Who would have thought that, like, they said, okay, like, it was a discussion back then.
Just really quick, glanz means shine, so like double shine or something.
All right, sure. So it was a discussion. They put Sheikah in the game. They put Leon in the game. Everyone was like, what if they made a duo unit with those two? And everyone's like, nah. They're just guests. They're not
There's
gonna
no console game to do that.
Yeah, why would you do that
and
here in the
then they're
mobile
like,
game?
Oh, by the way, here's the Shinso Mermaid event, but wait, there's more.
Okay, so
Zweiglanz at the exact same time.
So what they said was they're gonna make a new event type called Twin Stage. We have no idea how it works, but all we know is that the idea is Kuroi challenges you to bring a unit to the Mega Music Festival, where he's gonna unveil Zweiglanz with Sheikah and Leon, and he's like, "Come at me! I got my girls. Give me who you got." And then the producer sends out Hibiki and Tsubasa.
See me in a first to 10 money match.
Yeah,
Let's go.
they go FT10.
Let's go, Takagi.
Bring it. He goes. Show me your best girls. I got mine. Let's go. So Tsubasa and Hibiki get sent there, and it's gonna be Twin Stage. Basically, everyone's speculating that it's gonna be a new event type. We're gonna have new rules, new mechanics. We're gonna be playing two banners at the same time. And what better way? I really feel like what better way to have introduced this new mechanic, introduced this new thing, than just blowing your minds with something that you never thought would have happened. First off, Kuroi in freaking Dio mode, because like he had the entire shine thing behind him. The ironic thing was, if I look for the picture, if I look for how they introduced Kuroi at the stream, he had the shine, where what it looked like was it was just his silhouette, and then the background is just a gigantic shining background. That was the exact same image he had when he introduced Jupiter. So nice shout out. So the second thing was, yeah, even if Kuroi's an asshole, you cannot like his eye for talent, how he makes things, how he shows off his stuff. He's a master at that stuff. So
he is a competent idol production president. He's just
A
an
bad person.
asshole
Yeah, he's just a bad
with
person.
with an agenda for revenge.
If he can get over, can we somehow get like a final way? I mean, being the super one-dimensional anti-villain he is his trope, so that we can have people like him. But I wouldn't be opposed to having Koroi just straight up change somehow, so that 961 can actually be. It's like you can just put Leon and Sheikah there, and then like have them make Zweigland songs all year, and I'll be okay with that. Because Zweigland is amazing. And of course, obligatory JoJo reference, the name of the Zweigland song is Alliance Stardust and Stardust Crusaders. And, you know, now we're back to JoJo. We were Million Live ran into JoJo with Hanazakari Weekend sounding exactly like freaking, like Hanazakari's Weekend sounded exactly like Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town. And now we have Stardust Crusaders. So anything involving Kuroi is just freaking JoJo.
Okay, go on.
So the Kanchasai ended off with a high note. They got to play Thank You with Leon and Sheik on it. You should have seen Rieri's face. Rieri was like so happy. She's like, oh god, I'm really part of Idolmaster now. She's like so happy. She's like jumping up and down.
I did it, guys.
Yeah, she's like, Yata, I got it. I'm an Imas now. I'm like, after doing all this Fate Grand Order stuff, I finally get to be in an Idol series. Let's go. So she's happy, and that really warmed my heart. And the Kanchasai was amazing. Literally, like, I was not prepared. Four-man Overmaster.
So now we can actually get Megumin and Aqua in the same unit properly. Let's go.
Darkness is the only missing Konosuba character in Idolmaster now, by the way.
We're just mixing Darkness.
Yeah, Rieri is Megumin, so she's in Million Live now. Then there's Shiho, so that's Aqua. And then freaking Kazuma. Is Kazuma voiced by Matsuoka? Is he?
I'll look it up.
Because if he is,
you guys keep talking. I'll look it up.
If he is, then he's already inside him. But four-man Overmaster, we had Hibiki, Miki, Sheikah, Leon, the four girls from 961. Sadly, my favorite Haramin was not there. So Haramin,
Fukushima Jun is his voice.
Okay, so he's not in IMAS yet. But Takane wasn't there. We couldn't have five-girl Idolmaster or Overmaster. So I mean. Of course, the excuse is you don't have five-man Overmaster at a freaking Million Live Conscious stream. You have five-man Overmaster at Masters, which is gonna happen next year because of our next topic. Our next topic is SIDEM gets a Dome Live, 5th Dome Live, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. What this means for two things.
Something.
Yeah, let me tell you why this is good for two reasons. Dome lives are gigantic. They don't compare to like
oh, yeah.
they're like you do some things in dome lives that you can't do in other regular lives. Essentially, go ahead.
Essentially, dome lives. I apologize. Are essentially like the cream of the crop. They are the highest standard for a lot of lives.
And yeah, you do things there that you can't doing regular lives. Like you approach the venue in different ways. I am no means a live expert at all. I haven't even been to one yet. All I've done is watch them with the Blu-rays my friends buy. But there's a clear, stark difference to when something is set up as a dome live and when something's like, you know, a normal venue. And SIDEM got a dome live, so they needed something, as what Cho said, because we've already dwelled on it a little too much, but you know, SIDEM needed something. At the same time, this is important because they wouldn't plan a dome live without something that would be as equally as demanding for SIDEM sometime down the line. So this basically means all pretty much 90% confirms Masters of Idol World is next year. It's not this year at all, because one, August is the All Stars live, so that means something that late means, you know, Olympics and all the jacked up prices, all the jacked up things with like tourism and stuff. No thanks. I would very much appreciate Masters of Idol World not being this year, because one, I don't have enough money just yet. I probably will if I work hard enough this year. And two, freaking no, I don't like the Olympics. Get rid of it. It is going to make
hilariously enough, the flight tickets for Japan. Apparently, flight tickets to Japan around Olympics time are going to be cheap as hell.
Yes,
but regardless,
but staying there.
If anything, that's going to encourage more people to come. So,
which makes it's a catch-22. You get there cheaper. You get there cheaper, But everything else is like super expensive and super hectic because look, when they announced the August live for All Stars, the freaking hotels around the venue already quadrupled in booking price. That was like no, 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 no. I'm not gonna bother with that. I might just go to Taiwan and watch and catch an LV because I love the All Stars and I want to see them first. But you know, Side M, fifth live, big shit because they have been proven to slay concerts. Bandai Namco Fest was basically Side M along with everyone. Like it was just Side M then everyone else because they slayed a lot of stuff. They performed the best. They got freaking TM Revolution in on it, and then like they performed much better. Like I think the Blu-rays for Bamco Fest are gonna be like released sometime in the first quarter of this year. I'm not very sure if they are, and if you're planning to buy one, go ahead and check out because I do read most of the reports from like most people that Side M performed the best among the Idolmaster branches, and then like Bamco Fest 2020 is also confirmed, which also adds up to the fact that Masters is not going to happen this year. So Side M needed that, and I think the Dome Live means that they're probably planning to give them some form of material somehow, along with because World Treasure is ending. They finished it off with World Treasure Japan.
I think it's already like it's pretty much like already.
It's over now.
They just got to release the World Treasure Japan album and then that's it. Se acabó.
Yeah, I think that's where they're gonna move back into like the solo the unit songs for everyone else. Ironically, they ended it with Japan because Olympics, right?
I mean, if anything, it makes sense. Like end it off where home is.
Yeah, and like I caught the MV for World Treasure Japan, and I actually didn't think it'd be the way it was, because it's like, okay, without sounding like rude or cheek or offensive or anything, it's stereotypical. It's very stereotypical because like they got ninjas and they got all this Naruto stuff and like.
I mean, let's be real. The whole World Treasure series is kind of
stereotypical.
So if anything, it's kind of fair to stereotype your own home.
Well,
Thailand to, like, close it all off.
Thailand was relatively like very respectful and wholesome, if you ask me. Thailand was well done. They didn't talk about thigh massages or anything. That would have been a little out of line. Tigers, yeah. But yeah, Japan is. One person made a joke that for World Treasure Japan, what they could have done was get all the non-Japanese people to do World Treasure Japan. You'd get like Kay, you'd get Pierre, and just have the Aselin maybe, and then have them do Japan because they're not Japanese, quote unquote. Somehow, Pierre is from a different country, Kay is half German, and well, they already sent Kay to Germany, and Aselin is from Hell, quote unquote, Hell. So
come on and slam.
And welcome to Japan. So they ended off with Japan. They're getting in with World Treasure, probably hoping to move to new material so that they have something for Dome Live. And again, Dome Live's freaking awesome. Good on them, because like what Cho needed, or like what Cho just said, they needed something because of our final topic for this day. By
the way, I just want to give, like, before we get to the big final topic, I just want to give a quick shout out to the funniest thing that happened. I don't know if this was like in late December or early in January, so I do apologize if I got the timeline mixed up, but I do want to bring it up. So this is related to Starlight Stage because I don't think we've really been talking a lot of like Cinderella Girls, because honestly, like what's been happening right now is pretty standard. But the funniest freaking thing that happened was, okay, so every year Cinderella Girls is like this lottery thing. Where, every single producer, like, they just roll a wheel and they get a specific number, and whoever rolls a 1 gets like this like huge party pack of like prizes
and gems.
And it happens like at the start of every year or at the end of every year, and hilariously enough,
a gaijin one.
A person
a
that
foreigner
got first
one.
place is a foreigner from outside Japan, and everyone was like, "What the? Can I swear? Am I allowed to swear?"
Yeah, I mean, like we're already an hour in.
You already have earlier, so
okay, cool. And everyone was like, "What the fuck? What the what? What? How?
They don't know what to do now."
Japanese? What? The funniest thing to me was that from a good chunk of Japanese producers for that game, their reaction wasn't a foreigner P1. Their reaction was, wait, there are foreigner producers?
I mean,
I just wanted to give a shout out to that because that was just the funniest thing that happened at the start of the year.
they're like, it's
No,
like,
absolutely.
"Grats, bro! I didn't even know you exist." Like something like that.
Yeah, it's like congratulations. Wait, how did you get this game?
Also,
I
I
think the
tried.
best part was seeing that producer's reaction on Twitter, and I remember seeing them just going like, "Wait, hello? What do I do
Yeah.
now?"
Wait, what?
He
Who,
should-
who do I call?
Yeah,
what
do I call
How do I
Bamco?
get-
Do I call Psy Games? Who do I contact?
Do I call Daigo Umehara? What the fuck?
Like, okay, how do I claim this? What do I do? Is this invalid because I'm not Japanese? He probably okay. So like, what
Am
happened
I
was
gonna get arrested for this?
what he probably did was he blew on his screen. He kind of like rubbed it a bit. There's no way that means 1. This is like a 4, right? This is 7 maybe, and he's like, it's 1. No, it's not going away. It's number 1.
It's like you sure there's no horizontal line? Did that
Yeah.
mean 4? You sure that's a 1?
This is a 7. No. This is fake. This is a 7. I just won.
This is a fucked up stuff.
I just won $20,000. What? What is?
You won $20,000 in yen. It's like, wait, what's the exchange rate on that?
What's the exchange? He has to bring all the yen back over to where he was and just exchange it. That's a nightmare. Like,
How long is shipping gonna take? Jesus Christ.
does Bomco take Western Union?
How do you guys feel about USPS?
How do you guys feel like? What's your preferred? Hello, Bomco. What's your preferred carrier? What do we do? What do we do here?
Do you use USPS, FedEx, UPS?
Tell
What?
me, because
What do we do?
Because he probably lived for like the longest time knowing I'm just gonna get a 4. I'm just gonna get a 6th place, and he wakes up and is like, huh? Now what?
He was probably like half asleep first, and he's like, "That's a really fucked up 7." And then his eyes align, and he's like,
Oh, what's with all this confetti? He notices all the confetti. He notices like everyone going happy. Like, Uzuki, you were never that happy before. Why are you happy?
It's like why y'all congratulating me? Oh,
That's not a 7. That's not a 4. That's a 1.
that's not a. I knew that 7 was fucked up for a reason.
Well, I think this still does count as January, so that's we can talk something about like Starlight Stage related before we move on to the final topic, because it's ironic that the final topic will pull everything together.
True.
Yeah, the event for the latest one, Unison Starbeat, that name just cracks me up every single time. Started at January, and you know what they did with Julia, where they put her in Prologue Rouge costume, and then she plays her guitar in MV. They did that for like 5 girls, and then, granted, they still have to lock you to outfits. You can't use your SSR outfits in Unlock Starbeat. But what you can do is there's a nice attention to detail where if you get certain girls to play on the guitar section, on the guitar, the guitar position, they will take note of their dominant hand. Like for example, if you put Rina on the same spot and then Natsuki on the exact same spot where they're supposed to hold guitars, you'll notice Natsuki flips it over because she's dominantly left-handed. So that's some nice attention to detail. However, everything done considered to like the Unison Starbeat things, considering like the MVs and like how it's done, and like the commu is weird but also pretty funny because Rina's in it and Rina always makes everything comically funny. I read a lot of like the forums, like Reddit, Twitter reactions, and like stuff like from my personal friends who are very into CG. The song's not all that good, is it? Like, if anyone's like taken a listen to Unison Starbeat, Unlock Starbeat, why do I keep saying Unison Starbeat?
I hadn't heard it, so I wouldn't know. I hadn't been keeping up with Starlight Stage music in like a year at this point.
Like,
I think the last one I actually like listened to, like brand new one, I'm trying to remember. I think was the Twins song.
Yeah, Sunday, because everyone listened to that. There's not a single
no,
Idolmaster fan alive that hasn't listened to that song. But like,
yeah, because it's good.
like, so Unlock Starbeat is Okurimona Sunday. We're talking about the song Tig Hug. There we go.
Take Hug. Yeah.
There, search
Yeah,
for this one. You have to listen to that one because it's my bet for like the best CG song in like the past 3 years. Personally,
Yeah.
like
it's super good.
as a multi-branch person, let me check it out for you, so that I mean, it also helps that the twins are like were very much well received compared to like the other two ones, because they're basically just like the joke is that they're small illustrious and small Belfast for all those Azure Lane players out there. Um, but yeah, this song is probably bet for one of the wow. Look at all these with love MVs that Wilson JJ made once the marriage thing came around. As soon as the marriage thing came around, he's like, "Oh God, I gotta make."
He's like, well, time to get some more ad revenue.
Gotta get some more ad. Like, look at all these with love envies I gotta make. Look at all these people getting married. Like he gets one with love envy done, married or done, and then like he's got like, oh God, I gotta make another one. And then like Mika gets married and Minami gets married. I gotta make another one. What the frick?
He's like, do they even have wedding dresses? Ah!
I can't find the original one he made. Oh God, it's somewhere here. Did you already post it? Oh, he doesn't get ad revenue. Okay,
probably like
no problem.
Like a rip of the song. Yeah. That was mostly like just a joke.
Okay, but yeah, he had to make with love envies every single time that one of the new ones got married, and he just keep going here. Okay,
I just found it.
Grr. I'm looking for the one with the twins in it.
While they're looking up stuff,
I found it.
Okay.
Hey, there you go. The last bit of news I can give for Shiny, because I know we kind of just covered like banner stuff, but there's some other small things in Shiny that's happening, of course, that a lot of people can appreciate, and some people will be like kind of mixed on it or whatever. So I guess in-game content, we've got the new Valentine's campaign, which is very simple. Just produce an idol, they give you a Valentine's gift. You can do this for every single character. They have their own lines to it that you can listen back on, which is nice. For the people that like merch, they're doing finally some online retail for merchandise that was exclusive to the first live.
Yay! Cool. My friend is gonna love that, cause like he realized that he liked Shiny a lot more than he thought he would. Way too late, cause he's a guy with a lot of money, so he's like, damn, I wish I would have went. I want to buy all that stuff, and now we can. Yay! Thanks to those guys who have all the money.
Now if you want that Yuika SR hat, if you want the Kaho Halloween cookie charms, or if you want the Illumination Stars or Stray Light shirts, those are all up. I think there's also like the really amusing one, which is that you can get Kiriko's medical bag.
Yeah, the freaking okay. That one was the cutest one.
Okay, I'm gonna just ask, like, can I get Devitaro, my own Devitaro plush?
Well, Devitaro wasn't first live merch.
So yes.
Devitaro,
yeah.
It's not first live merch, but it is merch.
Yeah, it is merch, and it's releasing this month.
Yeah, I know it exists. I was just wondering, like, if it's out yet.
Devitaro is releasing this month.
Oh yeah, it is releasing this month.
Okay, cool.
I will say that like Kiriko's bag is not the weirdest. I think the weirdest probably still has to go to Tenka's toothbrush.
Oh, what?
What? Wait, what?
What? Oh, I didn't even know they did that.
I need proof. I need some proof. That sounds that is some literal freaking idol bathwater bullshit.
That is Bakemonogatari levels of. I'm not gonna like. All you need to do is fry an egg and put it on her head or something.
This is not the toothbrush. This is the bag. But
okay.
But I do remember that they sold Tenka's toothbrush in that one SSR as like actual merchandise.
Are you sure it's a toothbrush or not like her pajamas or something? Or...
No, because I remember. I wish they were still in the call. But one of our other producers actually had to buy it to then. Oh yeah, they bought it. I think somebody else did, and they shipped it to somebody else. But yeah, like you could get the toothbrush. It wasn't the like pajamas. It wasn't anything.
Because the pajamas would make sense.
Yeah, it was just straight up. Here is the toothbrush.
Oh my god.
Okay. I did not need to know that.
If anything, I'm a little uncomfortable right now.
I am not very sure about that, but the rest of the stuff, Devitaro, my friend bought 8. My friend ordered 8 Devitaros. That's insane.
8 Devitaros. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see. Oh wow. What the fuck?
Who asked me for it? Uh-huh. Okay. To be completely frank, and like honest, that doesn't even look all that special for a toothbrush. I thought like it'd at least
It's
be like,
just a light blue toothbrush.
Yeah, I think somebody said that it has either like her signature or it has like a little stamp on it that says it. But
What?
otherwise, yeah, it's just a blue toothbrush, which is like,
The
well,
blue-
whatever.
Why?
I mean, cool, but
Well, no, cool.
it's
cool.
Definitely not
Metal.
the one thing I would hope for to be like, hey, there's a neat thing in this card, let's make merch of it. Definitely not top of the list.
You know, I have seen some weird merch for like not just Idolmaster, but just like related to video games and anime in general. I think Teiko's toothbrush might have just taken the cake.
And the last,
it's like,
the
it's
last
like I said, that
positive
is
news.
some. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah,
go on.
yeah, it's definitely. We don't need to hover on that topic for too long. But last little bit of shiny news is that this month they also had announced the newest album, which is Sweet Step, which also happened to be the CD that you needed to purchase for the second Kanshasai. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly.
Sweet Step is nice.
From what I remember, the song is in game and it sounds pretty okay.
Yeah, Sweet Step is nice. I actually like it a lot. So much as far as like general songs for me, because like stuff like Ambitious Eve, Spread the Wings, and all that. Most of it flies over your head, but Sweet Step is kind of nice. If not for the fact that like, hey,
Birds.
that comedy gold, woo. For the fact that Sweet Step sounds unique, and for some strange reason, I can hear Mano's voice clear as day in Sweet Step compared to everybody else's. I don't know. It's probably something like it's unique. So as far as general 19 girl songs go, I like it. So if that's all like for the rest of like shiny news, we're gonna wrap up with the thing, right? The thing, which is Starlit Season. And okay, let me at least
Justice for Side M.
yeah, let me
Justice for yeah, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way.
Let me
which,
preface
by the way,
this. Yeah, let me preface this, which is Metal has already made a video. If you'd like to link that in the voice chat here, so everyone else can check it out later. Here.
Yeah, I will do that. Just you guys keep going on ahead, and also are you gonna put it in the description to this video?
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the description to the video. So,
Okay.
So that full disclosure, everything related to what we talked about. Just a quick preface because it's not that I'm downplaying the reaction to it or anything, but it's already been like discussed most of extensively, so we don't need to reiterate things that might sour people's moods. But yeah,
especially considering that like in the video I just linked. Sorry to be plugging so much, but
no, it's okay.
I kind of went over like a lot of like people's reactions, why they're upset and everything like that. But yeah, the short of it is basically that Side M is not going to be in Starlit Season, and from what they've said in interviews and stuff like that, it seems like that there aren't any plans to add them. Which, by the way, I will say we do have some new context on that now that we have the Famitsu article.
Yeah,
which,
I'm gonna go over.
I'm actually glad. I'm actually glad that we waited this long to like talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have some more context.
Because imagine if we made this video talking about Starlit Season before we got this article, and everything would make us sound like we're uneducated. But okay, so to preface this article or to preface this discussion about Starlit Season, you can either go watch Metal's video about it, which is a really good video. Props to that, Metal. Or let me just go ahead and check this out here with the Famitsu article details. So we have 9 bullet points. Each of them are well, mostly because this will explain most of the stuff, Izu. So we have 9 bullet points here, and all of them are important. First. Yes. Not all songs will have the Utawaike feature, or Utawaike means where, imagine Million Live Theater Days Brand New Theater, where no matter which way you mix up all the idols or send them to different positions, they'll be able to sing their parts solo in a proper manner. Like, you can actually cut and paste, edit solo versions of Brand New Theater if you just parkour an idol from position to position every single time. So Utawaike means...
Or you can just go to solo mode.
Yeah, you can just do solo mode, yeah. Utawaike is like having the girl sing every part of the song, so you can mix and match parts of the song so that every girl can sing in an equal proportion. That is a feature that is common to all 765 All Stars console games, and this is possible because 765 All Stars are just 13 girls who've known each other for decades. They're already used
Yeah,
to their
it's 13. It's 13 girls, and they've been using those same recordings for like 15 years. So they don't have to re-record like any song that was in like say the original Idolmaster or Live for You or anything like going on to that because they already have those recordings. The only time they actually had to re-record all those songs is for Yukihiro, but that's because a different voice actress, and even then that was only one idol. So it was like okay, whatever, that was easily doable.
That was easily doable, and hence Utawayake is in 765 Pro All Stars console games. However, now we're dealing with 28, so that's just not that
Yeah,
is not possible, or no, exactly not
yeah.
possible. It just wouldn't be very
It's
practical.
it's like okay, so like to explain it a little bit further, it's essentially okay, so for all the Namco AS idols, it's like okay, fine, you can do that because they've been building it out for so long. With these 15 new girls that they're just adding in from different sub franchises, well, now you have to make like new versions of those songs with all those recordings, and who knows how many songs are going to be in that set list. Given that they're combining songs from like all these different branches, it could be anywhere from like the 10s, the 20s, the 50s, the hundreds. It could be any of that. And having all of those actresses just like re-record their versions of all of that music in addition to keeping the roles that they have within Idolmaster, in addition to keeping all the roles that they already have prior obligations for other like video games and anime and stuff like that, that'd be too much.
Ranko herself is hard enough to get a contact of. You're gonna ask her to sing brand new theater by herself? Come on, guys. But
No, it's possible for them to do it for some songs, but not all of them.
yeah, but that's the bullet point to this one. So not all songs will have Utawaike. However, branches will be able to sing each other's songs, which is basically the important part of the entire game and why you're here anyway. Like CG can sing
This is what
ML.
people wanted.
Yeah, Million Live will sing Shiny Colors songs. Shiny Colors can sing CG, so it's gonna happen. It's just not as Utawaike where everyone can have solo parts. Bullet number two.
If anything, it's very likely that everyone is going to be able to sing Guys Cinderella, but it might not be likely. Unfortunately, press your F's in chat that we are not going to have Q and Vampire Girl versions for everyone, which is a goddamn tragedy.
Yeah, no more Hans, no more like Usotskis for like
No,
Machiyuki
no,
Prince. Nope, we're not gonna
no
get
more
that.
hot. No, we might not get a Han compilation of 28 idols, and that is a crime.
DLC Vampire Girl. No, you're gonna get Kaho and Tenka to do that. Mm-mm. So bullet point number two. PC version was planned because of growing popularity of the platform, and this is true. PC is widely becoming accepted as a finally as like this gaming console because Bombco has been more open to PC lately. They vastly supported Code Vein on the PC, and Code Vein as a result has 90% upvote recommendations on Steam. Congratulations there. God's Eater Burst, God's Eater 3 PC support, and then DBFZ also got Dragon Ball Fighter Z also got PC support as soon as it went. So Bomco is
Tekken 7 also
yeah
got
Tekken 7.
also got PC support, which no one really expected that, but everyone's freaking glad about that one.
So it doesn't surprise me that it doesn't surprise me as someone who knows Bandai Namco as a company, but it sure as hell shocked the rest of the world. They're like, Idolmaster's finally on Steam. Like, oh god, it's like have you ever put Idolmaster and Steam in the same conversation before this? No, you haven't. You haven't because
No, dude, if anything, like Steam, like PC was like one of the second to last platform I was expecting this game to be on. The last one, of course, being Xbox One, but I was not really
actually
thinking that this
Xbox
game
was more likely because we
I was thinking that this would be like PS4 guaranteed and maybe Nintendo Switch.
Switch.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of surprised
Switch.
there's no Switch version, but the fact that there's a PC release at all, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, like after the announcements, people were like, actually just spamming Bamco with, "Hey, you put it on PC, put it on Switch too, bruz. Like we got Switch. If you can do that, I'm gonna do it." So
I mean, it's possible. It's like I said in the video where Unreal Engine 4 does work on the Switch. I mean, look at like Dragon Ball Fighters. They'd have to tone down a lot of the shaders and the lighting, but the game can absolutely run, especially considering that, let's be real, Idolmaster games are not very hardware intensive games.
Xbox is more likely because Microsoft are pushing Blanco.
Until now.
Until now.
That's now.
The year 2020. Anyway, bullet point number 3. So these next 3 bullet points are going to be like lore. They're going to be like, story build up. Number 3.
Just before you get to point number 3, I do want to clarify another reason that they're like doing a PC version. It's not only because that there was a growing amount of popularity of the PC platform in the Japanese market, but they also specifically said that they were looking at it to better expand the Asian overseas market. So they released it on PC so that they can better release it to like Taiwan or Korea or other like countries like that. So it is possible that they could just expand out of that, or it could also be possible that this could be an Asian PC release. But regardless, the fact that they said that, just localization or just like, easier overseas release being a reason for the PC version is a very interesting point.
And I mean, even if they don't, we will. We're just gonna mod English text. We've been modding English text into a browser game. You don't think we like? Like stuff like Kantai Collection and stuff.
It's like I've said like previously, where there are 2 things that I am absolutely expecting the PC version to do, and one of the big ones is there is absolutely going to be an English patch for this game about like a month after it comes out. I'm expecting that, and I'm also expecting really funny meme San Andreas mods.
And like, so PC opens it up to a lot of like ease of use, right? Because like recording from a PS4 is hard. Recording from a mobile phone onto a PC onto a capture card is hard. If it's on PC, all you gotta do is fraps the shit and just boom, that's it.
Fraps? Oh my god!
Man. Unregistered hypercab.
Unregistered hypercab.
Are we in 2005?
We were in
Jesus
2005.
Christ, you could have said OBS. You fucked me up with fraps. Jesus Christ.
We're gonna go old school. Sorry, man. This is 2005 765 All Stars old school. We're gonna fraps this shit. I am no holds barred.
I might stream the game using fraps.
Dude, we're gonna go in a hard old school. I'm an old school producer. I'm gonna do things my way. We're gonna fraps this shit. So yeah,
we're going back to 2006 YouTube.
But yeah, PC. We got OBS, we got freaking XSplit, we got all this streaming software that can help us out. And one thing that a lot of the other people were talking about is that this game is going to be extremely VTuber friendly. Like, if you guys are into VTubers, there is no way VTubers are not going to play this game and like stream it for like weeks and weeks and weeks after it's out. Like, there's no way that it's on the PC. And it's easily streamable. And it's Idolmaster, something they're already doing. They're just having a hard time making Idolmaster content because everything's on the fucking phone or PS4. This is on PC, something they use every day. So they can just, set up what they usually have and just play. And that's it. There's no inconveniences. It's all ease of use. And PC just makes it. And it's on Steam. It's not on like some stupid, I'm coming for you, Origin. Your stuff is horrible. Origin is horrible. It's not Google. It's not
Thank
Google.
God it's not on Epic Games Store.
Epic Games Store. It's not on Google Stadia or any of that garbage. It's on Steam.
It's Steam.
It could have been on the Ouya.
It could have been Ouya. Oh my god. It could have been.
I mean, technically, you could probably play Starlight Stage on an Ouya.
Oh my god. Imagine the delay. Imagine all the misses. It's on Steam, guys. You got your Steam Friends codes. You got like, imagine if they actually made tradables on Steam related to the Idolmaster games. That'd be cool. So PC is where it's at, guys. And mainly because I didn't want to spend money for a Switch anyway. I recently bought a PC. I'm like, I don't really want to buy a Switch because I just spent like how much, like $4,000 on one. Sorry, not $4,000, $400 on one. So
I was about to say $4,000 for
Nope,
a
nope.
Switch. Jesus Christ, what kind of drug dealers rip?
Okay, third bullet point. So once again, I think numbers 3, 4, 5, 6 are more of lore and world building. The game is mainly a 765 All-Stars game, with Kotori as the main secretary. The others will appear as support, the others being Hazuki, Chihiro, and Misaki. But Kotori will be your main assistant. So like this, what this reads to me is, it's basically still along the lines of like Imas 2, Imas 1 for All, except when 1 for All released, they had DLC of the other branches. So you had like freaking New Gen, Kaede, Miku, and then you had Tsubasa, Serika, Mirai, and then Shiny Colors didn't exist by then. So this is more of like forgetting about the DLC thing for the other branches for the most part for now, and just putting them in. But it's mainly a 765 All Stars game. Mainly,
It's essentially a traditional console Idolmaster game with guest characters.
characterized by the fact that all 13 of the All Stars are already there. Like that, if that's not a telltale sign, I don't know what is.
It also helps that their models already exist, so it was probably a really easy asset flip to just have them all there anyway.
True. Number 4, and this is something I wish GamiP said straight up in the stream, so that all of that
Oh my God.
shitstorm could have been avoided. Number 4, extremely important. Idolmaster Starlet Season is not NOT. It is not a game that was planned for the 15th anniversary of the franchise. The development began around 2017, and full project efforts were made during the summer of that year. It just so happens that the announcement coincided with 2020, the year of the franchise's 15th anniversary. Whether or not there is an actual other game for 15th anniversary or some other project to commemorate the celebration has not been disclosed. So that's what's got everyone in a rut. The timing was horrible.
For some context on that time frame, at that time, like summer 2017, Theater Days just came out. Shiny Colors was little more than just a trademark that we saw. Side M Live on Stage wasn't out yet. Oh, freaking Stella Stage wasn't even out yet. Stella Stage was like just announced, or at the very
It was
least,
on pre-order.
like,
it was on pre-order status.
Yeah, it was on pre-order. So they've been developing this game for a while when a lot of shit didn't even like exist or wasn't even active. Like we didn't even have the Side M anime at that time, or if we did, it was probably like super early.
So I think Cho wanted to say something.
No, we're good.
Okay, so yeah, this should have been said straight up. This should have been made known somehow, much more clear. Because like, okay, the timing is horrible. You went into 2020, and then you have all these posters with dramatic stars and illumination stars. What's all these stars units? Namaska Trio, and then the main three from and then New Gen, and then 2020 comes in with that, and then Sidem's on the game, the very first game you announced in 2020. Timing is horrible. Context is needed, and it just shows. Like I made an entire Facebook post about it. Again, I'm tired of going on about this, but GamiP was horrible at disclosing this stuff. He should have just said this outright. There might be some stupid thing that prevented him from saying it, or maybe he just didn't want to say it. Like he's an old geezer like that.
GamiP is, I think, like if 2010 was not a good indicator of it, this is pretty much a good indicator that GamiP sucks at public speaking. Like, he's really freaking bad at it. He's like the development face of Idolmaster. He's essentially the Harada or the Sakurai of Idolmaster, and he sucks at public speaking.
He should have just said this. He should have just said, "This isn't a 15th anniversary franchise. We have and then he can probably go on with,
or at the very least, we didn't plan on it being the 15th anniversary game.
And then he could have he could have rolled on to saying we have something else for 15th and look forward to that, so that people will look forward to that, and then still keep Starlit Season on their eyes because it's not the 15th anniversary game, and they can look forward to something even more exciting perhaps. But again, at least now we know. We have the Famitsu article, and a lot of people read this because it was
at least now we know.
Yeah,
Granted,
at least now we know.
Too little, too late. But hey, man, better late than never.
At least because like people were sharing this article everywhere, and that's at least a good sign because a lot of people are sharing details for this game because it's probably like I'm gonna make a statement. This is probably one of like the most groundbreaking games ever. Because like even people who have no idea what Idolmaster is are gonna pick this up because one, it's on Steam, and two, they've been waiting for one time to buy a console game in ever, and everyone has more money now, so they can like pick it up, check it out, and again English mods so they can understand it.
And also just I feel like this is also going together, like especially the Starlight Stage community, because the Starlight Stage community is freaking huge, especially overseas. So it might bring them in because they see that, oh, shoot, there are Cinderella Girls characters in this game. Oh, wait, who's this? Oh, Makoto. Oh, she looks cool. and it will just be a long string of events that just go from there, and it'll bring a lot more people to more traditional console Idol Master, which is good.
Yeah, it's good. Number 5, the timeline is from after 765 productions have become successful, and hence the idol selection began with them.
Finally.
Yeah, we finally
Yeah.
get a sequel. We finally get a sequel to like movie. We get a sequel to like Stella Stage, and there's something that says here. Initially, 5 idols will be chosen from other branches due to the overwhelming size. I think that's an understatement. There's literally
Yeah.
hundreds of other idols out there. Takagi.
If we were to have every single idol ever put into this game, we would have over 300 idols, and it's like, yeah, no, condensing it to nearly 30.
And to think we'd have them all shoved into one office.
Yeah, we have like half of that. We have half that number in one office. Like, that's a manpower problem and a half. But good thing Takagi, the president, thinks it's a good place to start with 5 idols each. We already know who 3 of them are.
Which
Which
quick, that is a little bit of a question that I have. That I mean, the game itself is probably going to answer, but how are they going to explain away the million live idols? Because okay, Cinderella Girls and Shiny Colors, they can just say, yeah, different production companies, okay, whatever. But Million Live is already Namco Pro, so what are they just going to say? Oh yeah, these are like idols we picked up from like a training school or something like that.
Well, for the most part, my answer to that is Mirai, Shizuka, and Tsubasa weren't in the movie. Like in the backup dancers that they got from the Million Live Girls, they weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking the last remaining 2 girls will be whoever weren't from that group, so that it goes in line with after the movie. So what I'm saying is Arisa and Konami, let's go. But yeah, I think that's how they're gonna explain it, and that's what Takagi wants. So Takagi will get what he wants. Number 6, and I have no idea how to interpret this. Number 6. The theming for Starlit Season is more emotional compared to the visual intent of previous games. Now, I'm a long-time producer and console game player. I have no idea what that means.
Motherfucker, time to cry.
I mean,
Okay. So realistically, this is just like some speculation I'm pulling out of my bum. But I feel like what they're referring to is there might be more of an emphasis on character expression and movement, being able to like tell who they are. Like, or at the very least, like during like performances, because I think I remember in one like translation of the Famitsu points, they brought up that they wanted to do some things like that showed like more expression on the idols on stage, particularly like they wanted to have more details on them being a little more worn out during performing, so you'll see some things like sweat on them, so that it'll show that after the live they're getting a little bit tired.
Man, the friggin' like, okay, so there was another recent idol series that called Idol Pride, and they focus on like you can see the sweat glistening as they work hard, and then I see that's here like, is there a sweat fetish developing in Japan somewhere, or maybe am I late to the news?
That's been a thing for a while.
Okay,
dude.
so
Freaking,
I'm apparently late to the news then. Well, sure.
Yeah, dude, there's so many people that probably want to lick sweaty idol armpits. Anyway, moving on.
Number 7.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's abort that.
Number 7. I'm going to eradicate half of the player base in this one statement. Haha. The game is not a rhythm game and plays more like Idol Master 2 or One for All. Or I can
that is such a good call on their part, because it's like I said in my video, the rhythm game aspect of freaking Stella Stage and Platinum Stars.
It was one of the things that turned us off.
Well received. It was not well received, and people were like, "What the hell is this? I wanted a produce game. I wanted something like One for All and like Imas 2 and shit." And then Shiny Colors came out and gave people a taste, and it's like, oh well, I guess that's like a little close to how it was, but I want it on a home console. So them like actually doing that for a console game, it's a good move. But at the same time, it also makes me beg the question that, it makes me beg the question of, if this game was in development since before Stella Stage came out, it kind of raised the question of, was Stella Stage even meant to be like its own thing in general, or was it essentially just like, we got platinum stars already, but we want to fix it? Like, was Stella Stage planned more to be like a DLC expansion, but they just made it into a full game because they have so much more content? Or that's where I'm a little bit lost.
I don't know, man. Questions about Platinum and Stellar are just things that we should probably like. It's already done. We harping on that is pretty much a waste of
Yeah,
time.
I get it. It's just that my brain is just thinking it's like, development time and like timelines, and the fact that this is going to the classic gameplay makes me think it's like, well, what was what was the timeline for like one over the other? But I get it, and a lot of people don't want to talk about that because it's like it's old, it's in the past. Those games are kind of like obsolete and dead now because we got a more proper game coming out, something like that.
The game is not a rhythm game and plays more like Idolmaster 2 or One for All, which is great because I sound like a broken record, but One for All is the best console game for the Idolmaster in history. Like, it's not even close. It's the most complete. It's the most faithful to like the formula. It had the least region problems, like all the other games like Idolmaster 2 or SP. Like as long as you have a PS3, you can play One for All. But if excuse me, for all these other games, you gotta play like PSP, PS Vita, region locked PSPs, region locked PS2s, or region locked Xbox. No, One for All was easy because any PS3 can run it. And now we got
which it's a pretty good call too. Like, I'm actually like, now that I got a PS3 that I copped for $70 from a closing down GameStop. I'm actually, and considering that I'm gonna get Starlit like probably like the day it comes out, like the moment that's on pre-order on PS4,
I'm in.
I'm gonna like
I'm first in line.
I'm a pre-order a copy from like Play Asia. I'm gonna see if I can get One for All at some point so I can get used to like the general gameplay.
I'll see you
now
at the front of the line.
PS3, so I can play that.
Yeah, you can get a PS3. Any PS3 can run it. Any PS3 is it's able to run it. Produce Azusa because she's the best character in the game. She's not even close. It's not even close. She's the most busted console game character that has ever seen the light of day. And Azusa, it's not even close. So
you're already telling me, hey, motherfucker, play easy mode. and it's and I'm just like, well, what if I want to challenge myself? What if I want to play Yori?
No, like, look, okay, you can
Support Harada.
Support Harada. I mean, at that point, just put Iori, Ritsuko, and Azusa, and just go Yugu Komachi all the damn game and just win easy.
Or I could do Iori, Ritsuko, Chiaya and die trying.
Die trying. I wonder if there'll be like, I wonder if Azusa's gonna be as broken in started season as she will be here, or what if it's suddenly like Tenka for some strange reason, even if you bother with all her stuff and like her like training and like imagine. Okay, so what happens in console games is depending on what like it's sort of like it's what you see in Shiny, only more in depth and spread out through a lot more weeks. So if you thought 32 weeks, if you thought 32 weeks putting up with Tenka was enough, prepare for 100.
Prepare for even better. Prepare for every day for 10 months.
Yeah, every day for 10 months. Tenka's just like, cause she like it's
because what they're doing with this one is that instead of producing by week, they're now having it so that you're producing by each day.
And it's a calendar. It's a calendar-based system. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bold move putting Tenka there without confirming Amana first. I mean, like, as what someone discussed in like the general chat yesterday. How is Tenka gonna do it without Amana? Like they're saying, like it's gonna be a character development for Tenka that she suddenly was able to go in this project without her. So cool.
I'm probably thinking it's either going to be a character development thing, or what I think could be a really sweet scenario is that she just ends up making new friends from. Well, I'm headcanoning, and what a lot of other people are headcanoning, Anzu and Miki.
Mm-hmm. Because like they're the slacker team.
Sleepy Trio.
Yeah, the sleepy trio.
Yeah, Project Sleep. Let's go.
Let's go. So that is number 7, and like I said, 3 to 7 is more on lore. And 8 to 9 are more of blanket statements, or not exactly blanket statements, but just like explanations. Here we go.
Clarification.
Side M, and to an extent, Dearly Stars, currently have no plans on being included due to the focus of Luminous Project as a female unit. They offer an apology to the fans for this misunderstanding. However, they would like for, quote-unquote, certain idols to appear any chance they can take. That is such a blank and vague statement that I'm not very sure what to take on it, but at least they
I
did address it.
I feel like what they're saying is that they're not going to be in the base game. Absolutely not. It's too late for them to be in the base game. But who knows? Maybe they might be like DLC rivals, like in One for All, where you had like Dearly Stars, New Gen, stuff like that as like rivals for different festivals as DLC.
The last bullet point is hilarious. The last bullet point is freaking hilarious. When asked about 961 production idols like Sheikah and Leon, they simply said, no comment. Translated into, they'll be in there. They're gonna be in the game.
Translated to, they're very likely. We just don't want to tell you right
Yeah.
now because that
You
would be
don't
rude.
say no comment. Like you say all this stuff about Sidem, like we'll put Sidem if we can.
Like,
We'd love to put Chance.
definitively
You're like
saying, eventually.
yeah, like for Sidem they said stuff like we'd like to put certain idols in if we can, and we apologize and stuff. And then when they talk about 961, no comment. We ain't saying nothing. You're just basically saying. So you're saying they're in.
We're very likely getting Leon and Sheikah in there. We're very likely going to get them in there, which, by the way, imagining Leon's model in the Starlit
God.
engine is... Oh, man.
Oh damn! How damn like
Now, what if they hit us with the curveball, which is they say that we're not going to add any new idols, but what if they hit somebody in the heartstrings by having the side M characters show up, but they're just NPCs?
like they're like supporters and stuff.
You know what? I think people would probably be okay with that, just because it's like the problem is they're not here at all. So it's like, okay, if
At least-
Terror just shows up for a cutscene, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, I think like because the idea is so that they're like Luminous Project is a female project, so of course we can't add Sidem in, but we've had if we can have communes where they show up and support each other, sure. Like let's say like Sidem saying, "Hey, Luminous Project, gambare, we got this stuff because we got Dome Live, we've got MetLife Dome," and like that's what they can say, so that's cool.
Or at the very least, have a Jupiter cameo.
Yeah, have a Jupiter cameos everywhere. Jupiter is like the Team Rocket, only good guys now, so.
Jupiter is like the one thing that is connecting everything. I mean, realistically, they debut in a console Imas game, so their chances of just like randomly showing up as rivals is pretty likely, I feel.
I mean, 315 wouldn't even exist if it weren't for Toma, so yeah. So that was all the bullet points. The last one is just really funny. No comment. Oh, you mean they're gonna be in it? Okay, sure.
So you're basically saying they're in. You just don't want to say it because you're under NDA. Got
yeah,
it.
that's all. That's basically. You wouldn't say no comment for something like that after seeing what they said about Sidem. So, Starlit season, possibly one of the most exciting times for Idolmaster. Everything considered, past the Sidem debacle, past what they have plans for them. It's exciting because it's a new take. It's exciting because it's never happened before. Cross branch stuff, Steam. I'm all in. Like I'm actually not spending on the gacha games anymore because I just actually want to buy DLC for once. I did spend some DLC for OFA, and I will spend here.
This is my most anticipated game of 2020 as it is right now, and I'm a put this on my freaking epitaph. Hold me accountable for this. If there is Shiho DLC, you know damn well I am going
Front
to
of
spend
the line.
as much money as need be
Front
on
of the line.
PSN cars just to get my baby girl in that game.
I'm gonna take Yuika. I'm gonna take like more Antika members, just so I can have some form of Antika Chuni set up with like, cause like I got Sakuya and Ranko. I need more. I need more Chunis. I need like more of them to be together. If I can't put all of Antika together, I'm gonna somehow put a Chuni unit together with Ranko over there. And like like okay, people said you look like Kiriko anyway. Get over here. So
You're gonna make a ghetto freaking Antika.
Yeah.
You're gonna make a Chinese bootleg Antika. That's
like
what you're gonna do.
people keep calling Kiriko Ranko 2.0. Okay, Ranko, get over here. We got you. Okay, who can we
It's
get?
like, all right. Here's Kiriko prototype.
All right. Okay. Who do we get? Let me just put together all these units, and that's the fun part. That's the fun part, right? You can put together
Yes.
units. You can put together the Tanka Anzumiki fan art just flew across the shelves as soon as it was done, and like,
Yes,
they love.
dude. Like I'm saying, music on the radio Like especially with
Yeah.
like this
Okay.
month.
Yeah. This month.
It's given me like so much anticipation for Starlit because you have scenarios like Hibiki's voice actress is the main host of that show, and every single month she rotates between like co-hosts. For January, it was Tenka's voice actress, and they also usually have like a special guest for like each week. And there was like 1 week where you had a
Shigi.
skit where Shiki was sniffing Tenka and Hibiki, and they were both like getting uncomfortable, like what the fuck?
What is this bitch doing? What is she doing?
Like who's this crazy bitch? And you also have like another one where you
It was like because it's
Ria
so.
Kugiya
Yeah,
as the
Kugi.
guest, and you have like Tenka. All for one thing, Tenka calls Iori Ojo-sama, which my freaking god, that is
That is something.
mwah, I love that. And
Ojo-sama.
also she like Tenka actually goes and like tries to play with Charles, and Iori gets annoyed. It's like if Starlit can give me those kinds of interactions, but with actual like visuals behind it, I'm in.
Yeah, that's basically what we're there for. That's basically what everyone is there for. They want to have some form of like, and it's a great way to exchange. Finally, a great way to exchange like, oh, you're from this branch. Okay, this is this girl that I like, and then oh, so this is the girls from this other branch. Just coming together as one. And what else is there to be excited about? It's just and again, the fact that it's one for all style, the fact that it's Idolmaster 2 style, we're already knee deep in all these beat games that like not only in Idolmaster, but like we've got like the freaking Project Diva rhythm game coming up. You've got that D4 DJ thing. I don't really know what it's called, but there's rhythm games out the wazoo nowadays. Can we get like an
Yeah,
actual console game? And we do. So
Yeah, so yeah, at the very least, like they're not like them not doing the rhythm game means that Master stands out a lot better as like okay, especially in this modern age where it's like okay, here's something completely different. It spices things up. It has a lot more variety
to
to it.
the absolute irony of everything, the absolute irony of all this is that the latest game, Love Live All Stars, is not a rhythm game. It's a produced game.
It's a combination of a produce and a rhythm game and an RPG.
Yeah, so like can
That sounds weird.
I really like how like there's already so much rhythm games out the wazoo and everyone's like, can we get one? And I'm like, okay, for Starmas we're gonna stick to our roots. So I think that's all the
Yeah,
that's
which is a really cool like full circle thing. It kind of reminds me of like JoJo got an anime, and that was considered like a fresh take on shonen. But that's because JoJo was always like a very straightforward shonen. But because a lot of shonen have been very subversive at that point, when JoJo comes out, it's very straightforward. It's a breath of fresh air. I feel like Starlit Season is that same way, where it's like, oh, you have an idol game that isn't a rhythm game but a produce game. It's like, yeah, Idolmaster's been doing that for 15 years, but the fact that they're doing it now in this current landscape, when every idol game feels like it has to be a produce game, it feels like it's somehow something old is fresh again.
So that's all of the topics that we had for January. Quite the eventful month. An extremely eventful month. Sans the couple of bumps in the road for like the limited stuff, Sidem stuff, and like what happened to that weird ass producer who won the raffle and he's a foreigner. Sans all that, it's pretty positive. I don't think February is gonna have anything aside from what we were about to talk about. But well, we could be surprised because
if February is anticlimactic, we could spend an entire
an entire
talking
session
about
talking
that
about whatever that
hashtag.
was, whatever that was.
We get a whole video to just talk about. Bleh.
Yeah. I mean, Valentine's Day. We could probably talk about like gashas and stuff.
February 2020 roundup. All you just call it is Yamu.
The Yamu.mkv. Like that's a.
Yamu.mp4. But anyway.
Anyway,
before we close the books on this, I have one question that I've been thinking about as we've been talking about the new game, and particularly about the point that talked about this is a post, this is All Stars at their peak, that kind of deal. And with all the characters that are coming in, especially for the shiny characters, my question is going to be, where are they coming from story-wise? Because one thing for those who haven't really been able to dig into shiny, due to either language barriers or just haven't been keeping up on cards, is that the cards have been progressively growing like as characters in a narrative sense with each new card they get. We learn new facets of their personality, or they work through their own issues or understand their issues. And for the new game to say all the original idols are already professionals now, they don't really say too much about where like shiny girls are going to be coming in at. And so I'm going to be really curious to see, are they just going to be like the fresh off the boat characters that we knew from the introductions at the beginning of the game, or some kind of midway point, or are they going to be like extremely current with
I
what we know of them?
I feel like what they're gonna do, because what they usually do with Idolmaster games, sans this one and Dearly Stars back in the day, is that usually they would just like reset all the characters' personalities to like square one. So that way you can have like a fresh produce route. Granted, you'll find out like a few new details here and there between each game, but overall it's usually, Yukiho, Chiaya, Haruka, like all those characters are going to start off at square one every single new console game you're going to get. So I feel like that's what they're going to be doing with the shiny characters. Sorry about that. They're going to do with the shiny characters, where they're just going to have their personalities a little bit closer to how they were when shiny colors first launched. Maybe had a little bit of like homage and like nods to like them being a little more developed, but I feel like they're probably just going to put them back at square one for the sake of producing them, so that way you can have a starting point for their stories.
So while what Metal P said is true, there's only one real retconned game in the Idolmaster storyline, which is Idolmaster 1, due to the fact that there was a lot of stuff about agencies and Miki transferring and Takane and Hibiki transferring and stuff. That's the only retconned Idolmaster game that exists. Everything else is
Awakened
Yes.
Miki.
yeah, sort of kind of canon.
Awakened.
Everything else is in the same timeline. So while what
Everything
Metal
else in the same timeline, except not really. It's weird.
yeah. So while what Metal P said is true, I also kind of feel like now is their chance to do something very specially unique. For example, here's my dream scenario. My dream scenario is Luminous Project is going to be something that will somehow reflect into every other game. For example, let's say what happens here is we're currently undergoing through this arc where Tenka is like she's not exactly 100% through her issues. And even after hanging out with Alstrameria, and even after hanging out with like Amana and producer from Shiny for a lot, she still has some of those issues. And then she goes to Luminous Project, and she kind of like mingles with maybe Miki or maybe Anzu, or possibly people are actually shipping her with Ritsuko a lot in some of the cross branch art, because Ritsuko knows how to deal with socially awkward characters. If you see her commune with Million Life Karen, what if what happens is in Starlit Season, and this is what I really want to happen because it's going to be so good if they pull this off. Yes, we are. This is going to be a podcast. This is like the January wrap up. What I want is, this is my perfect dream scenario. What happens is Tanka will go to Luminous Project, and then let's say it's like something that's happening alongside whatever is happening in Shiny Colors. And then she meets Ritsuko. She and Ritsuko kind of like mingle a bit. Ritsuko tells her that it's not too bad to be awkward. It's not too bad to feel what you're feeling, Tanka. I got this and whatnot, because she did the same to Karen. And then once Starlit Season kind of like continues on, and you go back to Shiny, there might be this commune where Tenka says, she doesn't exactly say Ritsuko's name, but she goes to Chiyuki or Amana and says, I met someone who helped me out. Something like that. That would be so freaking amazing.
It's like, yo guys, I just met this really cool chick. She's kind of rough when it comes to like training sessions, and she could be a little bit strict, but I'm willing to call her a homie because she really helped me out when I was like out doing Project Luminous stuff.
Yeah, I think like most likely what's gonna happen is what Metal P said. Everyone's kind of like coming in with a clean slate with some small hints of character development. But what I really want is to make this feel like a cross branch thing. To make this feel like after Ranko was done talking to Takane and Takane is done talking to Ranko, they'll remember who she was. So like, oh, I remember that girl from 346, or I remember that girl from 765. And then when Ranko talks to Asuka,
I remember that one goth chick that was here a few months ago. Man, she was a weirdo.
and then imagine like Ami Mami or like Hibiki talking like, who was that girl who kept talking in those, who kept using those weird words? Anyway,
Why
like,
does she constantly talk about being a fallen angel that was descended to hell?
and then like it continues, and then maybe like in theater days they'll like give small shoutouts because they've already done that. They've already done like small shoutouts to other people. So that'd be my perfect scenario. I'd really love it if they'll be able to do that, but I'm already preparing myself to accept that they won't because it's going to be a little hard. But if they do, masterpiece game, good game, great game, game of the year. If they do that. Imagine like Kaho. Kaho goes like, "Hey producer, I met these cool people at Luminous Project. Oh my god, he's so cool," and all that stuff. It's gonna be so good.
Kaho comes in and she's like, "Yo, I got a new Super Sentai squad with the twins. You mean Amana and Tenka?" "No," and leave it at that.
No, honestly, I think the most hilarious interaction I feel is going to be Ronko awakening Takane and that whole like Chuni like shenanigans that happen. But to compound this, now that those two hang out, now they're going to start messing with Kaho. And Kaho starts incorporating this weird Chuni hero like mishmash.
she becomes the fallen angel of justice.
The blade, the blade that cuts through darkness or something. Like, oh god.
The blade that cuts through darkness and produces the light.
Yeah. Oh my god. Just like how Yuriko did to Yayoi. Yeah. Don't keep the Chunis away from the kids, please. They're very bad influences.
Oh my god! I'm like, I also find it interesting that you
Like,
brought up Ronko.
yeah, the mere
and
fact
Takane,
that
because I remember like way back in the day when Cinderella Girls anime was like airing, I remember there were some people on the Project Imas forums, which shout outs to them. Like, if y'all remember that stuff back in the day, a lot of people in that forum, because a lot of those people are like predominantly Namco AS. A lot of them didn't really know about Cinderella Girls. They were watching the CG anime, and they're like, "Yo, who's this Ronko kid? She's kind of like a Takane ripoff." And granted, if you know Cinderella Girls, you're like, "Oh dear God, why?" But it's really funny that they just said that, and now you have them both in the same game, and you can have them like in the same unit and possibly interact.
if
with each other.
Ranko and
I find
Takane
that really
talk to
funny.
each other, no one is gonna understand what they're talking about. Like Takane by herself is already hard to understand. You put Ranko in that, no one's gonna understand that.
Even better, if one of the ML characters is Roko, then immediately you're just going to have an entire commune where everyone's just like, "What?"
What are they saying? I don't know. They're not even speaking Japanese at this point.
They're not even speaking any language I know.
This is probably some ancient stuff, but yeah, Starlight Season is hype. Starlight Season is building up such a lot of hype. But sadly, we've already run out of topics for January. It's a great month. February, probably not going to be that big of a month. That's why we're probably going to talk about like Yamu for one episode or something. But hopefully not. I hope like there's more surprises that are going to come along. And if there are, because we just got surprised by Mirishita Kansasai, we got surprised by all these wedding announcements, and we got completely blindsided by all of that. So let's just hope February gives us something cool to talk about, because this episode, the first freaking month of 2020, was already chock full of stuff. So
just before we sign out, I just got a quick question for you guys. What are the top 2 idols you're expecting for each branch to be in Starlit?
I don't have any expectations, but I have absolute demands. I demand Arisa Matsuda for this game. I will not rest easy at night if Arisa is not in this game. I have to demand like this. I'm not even that big of an Arisa P, but I demand her be in this game. There's no way you can put a cross branch game and not have the idol loving idol in the game, so that she can, spasm. Oh, you're Sakuya from Antika. Oh, you're Ranko from Cinderella. She'll do all that, right? So she'll like,
"Yo, drive in the darkness."
Yeah, she'll try and copy everyone because she knows everybody. And like, if you double down and put both Arisa and Yuika, and you can have this commune where Yuika's like, "How do you get to express yourself with all your nerdy stuff? It's so I'm so jealous." And then Arisa's like, "Don't be embarrassed about it. Don't be shy about it. Let it out."
Arisa's just like, "Yo, just one thing. Don't give a fuck.
Let it out,
Just
Yuika."
don't give a fuck.
And then she'll help out Yuika with her problems about being a nerd and stuff. So that's gonna be super great. But like again, they can put anyone they want. CG's probably gonna get Minami, And I'm expecting like Mano for Shiny and possibly like maybe Yuika, but I just want Arisa, man. We need Arisa in this game.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised at somebody like Rin or Anya showing up, to be honest. I feel like Rin is, I don't want to say a given, but I don't know. I feel like they're gonna probably add a blue like that, just to bounce off of our other blue.
so I feel like, for CG, I feel like Uzuki is like a given. Either Uzuki or Rin.
Hmm.
I feel like any one of those two is like super likely. The other rep, Reno, you son of a bitch, you made me a fan of Minami being a possibility
Hey,
for this
hey,
game.
hey,
So I'm gonna
Minami.
go for that.
We're gonna go
I'm gonna go
Minami.
for her. I'm gonna go for Uzuki Minami for CG because that would make me happy. ML, that's a tough one for me because I'm gonna say right now I don't want it to be Kaori and
Yeah,
real talk. ML
Kaori and
roster's
Sumugi
kind
would
of
be
whack
such
right
a
now.
boring choice if they pick.
It's like the ML roster so far is super boring, and I don't want them to go like 100% boring because I feel like it'll make the branch look bad. Because it's like, oh, you got all these like really cool characters in CG and Shiny, and then you just ML just come in here and they just literally just got the MCs, and it's like, yo, y'all pretty much implying that no one interesting is in this game except the MCs, which is like super not true.
It's
So
the
I'm
exact
really
opposite.
hoping. I'm
Momoko.
really hoping. Yeah, Momoko. Momoko's one that I'd like absolutely really want. Like Momoko and Reika are probably gonna be my choices. You'd think that I'd say Shiho, but I feel like after giving it some
Shiho,
thought,
nah.
I feel like she'd probably be a bit redundant because we got Chiaya and Shizuka and they're like already very similar. So as much as I want my baby girl, I feel like at least for the base game, she'd be a little redundant. And dog, it hurts saying that, but
I mean,
it's,
it's a general
God.
it's a general sentiment.
And
Like most producers I know, I talk about who they want in Starlit is like, uh, yes, they're fans of certain idols, but just for the fact that they don't want redundancy and they want the game to be as unique and as crazy as possible, they don't want their girl in because it's probably like redundant. For example, uh,
exactly
Kotohapis don't want her in the game because Kotoha doesn't provide anything to like the
anything new.
yeah, anything new. She's like Kotoha is such a like a it's she's such a like a million lives centered girl. Like if you put her in a cross branch thing, she doesn't immediately feel like she's contributing
She
anything.
stands out.
Yeah, like she's a producer
Right.
focused girl. She's mostly tied to the lore of the theater, and like unless there's like the whole thing where like she'd even clash with Ritsuko because she's like a student council president kind of thing, and Ritsuko's already doing that for like the slackers and stuff. So Kotoha, like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of Kotohapis who really love Kotoha, but they don't want her in the game, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't want Shiho in this game. I want her more than any other idol in this goddamn franchise. But I'm willing to accept that she is very unlikely.
Yeah,
Very
we just
unlikely.
want Starlit
Now for
season to be as crazy and as unique as possible, so that
yeah,
it'll paint like a nice image that oh look at all these unique characters we got. So, and
yeah.
Shiny Colors already did that.
Now for now for Shiny, I'm gonna say like my original thought was Mono and Fuyuko, but considering that they decided on the roster as of like summer 2018 and summer 2017, summer 2018, I forget which one, but and Stray Light didn't even exist at that point, so I feel like Stray Light's chances are like kind of slim to none. I'm gonna go and say it right now. We're not getting anyone from Stray Light in this game. It's unfortunate, but I feel like because like they're just too new for this game. So instead, I'm gonna have to go with Mono and a toss up between Amana and Mamimi.
Mommy Me would be great. I mean, Mommy Me would be really great.
She'd
Though,
be great. She'd be unique. She'd be something different. She'd
She'd be
spice up the
fun.
roster up. Exactly. She'd
she
be a lot of fun.
Yeah, putting Mommy Me in would immediately open up one of the most anticipated interactions, which is like the Futami twins and Mommy Me. Okay, two reasons. One, because the Futami twins and Mommy Me are pranksters, and two, the whole wordplay between Ami, Mami, Mommy Me.
Yeah, Ami Mami me.
Uh, 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 Ami, Mami, Mami, Mia,
So
Mami.
you have Ami, Mami, Haruka, and Mamimi. So that's Ami, Mami, Amami, Mamimi, bleh.
Because you already know they were playing around with that in the Namako anime, where it's like Ami, Mami, Amami, they're both wearing the ribbons. So if they add Mami Me, they're just gonna play around with that so much more, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, adding
because
Mamimi alone.
Bandai Namco loves their freaking wordplay.
So we just want Starlight
Now,
Season to be as crazy
You
as
were
possible.
talking about Shiho and talking about redundancy. There is a redundant character that I absolutely want to see just for the sake of having the two of them interact because we were, I can't say robbed, but we were denied the possibility of having Teru in this game. And that is that I want to see Tamaki.
Okay, with Kaho. Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Because Tamaki and Kaho
No.
together sounds hilarious.
Yes, Tamaki and Kaho trying to recruit a Super Sentai unit, and everyone that isn't the Futami twins is like,
What are they doing? We're like, then
the fuck?
everyone's gonna be like their kids. So I also want.
no, even better. I'm already like picturing in my head, Tamaki and Kaho, like they formed their team, and it's of the Futami twins, Makoto, and for some fucked up reason Sakuya.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I also.
And they all freaking do the Ginyu pose. Like
Yeah.
they all do the Ginyu pose. Oh god.
I also kind of want another adult in because Azusa being the only 20+ girl in the roster so far is gonna leave her. He's gonna leave her out so much. Imagine she's there.
She don't have a drinking buddy, and that's why we gotta pray for either Kaede or Chiyuki.
Chiyuki,
Now-
like.
There is one other option in there that I think would be interesting for multiple dynamics, and that would be Natsuha. Now, Natsuha's 20, so you could have her be the drinking buddy. But as we've seen from a lot of her commues, Natsuha is extremely good with kids.
Yes, she is. Like she's soccer mom. She's a soccer mom.
She practically babies Kaho.
There's that whole card from last year, where it's her and Kaho playing Secret Agent out on the street, and they call each other Agent K and Agent D. And it's just this super cute and charming sequence of them just running around town, just talking on walkie-talkies, acting like everything's super important when they're just goofing around. And it's that kind of energy that I would love to see Natsuha embody with other characters in this branch.
Imagine
Because
Mommy and Mommy.
yeah, Natsuha.
Yes, absolutely.
Natsuha meeting Anzu would be like the epitome of laziness versus the epitome of motivation. So like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. It's kind of like something like that.
Dog, or like another Natsuha.
Natsuha's
dynamic,
burning passion.
Natsuha Iori.
Like Natsuha's burning passion.
Natsuha Iori.
Oh wow! So before
Yeah,
Natsuha
Natsuha
Iori,
Iori or Natsuha Takane would be like, woof.
like imagine first before Natsuha Iori, Natsuha versus Anzu is like one side of the spectrum versus the other. Yeah, like someone's so motivated and someone is stop now. I'm gonna be
With
so
no
sad
motivation.
when it isn't Natsu. Yeah, we're actually building up Natsuha so much that I actually want her in the game now, and now we're gonna be sad when it's not her. God damn it.
Right? Like, dog.
It's okay. This game is definitely going to have DLC.
Yeah, this is
Like,
Bandai Namco.
If it's not base roster, it's Battle Pass
See,
1.
okay,
Battle Pass
okay.
2.
Let's go. You're right. We could get fighters passes for
Metal,
this game. Let's
Metal,
go.
show. Okay, we just unlocked it. We finally. This is the best way to close off this podcast. This is the best way to close off everything. How amazing is it that we went full circle, where the first few shitstorms of the console games were they put boys in it and there's way too much DLC. Now they didn't put the boys in it and there's not enough DLC.
We want DLC.
We're full circle.
Dog, it like how 10 years changes
Yeah.
people.
10 years changed.
How
a lot.
10 years changes a market.
It doesn't market. Like,
Yeah.
now we want the
now
boys.
it's like, yeah. Like back in 2010, boys, man, get the fuck out of here. Now it's like, boys, bring the fuck in.
Get in. We want the boys.
Bring in the boys.
So that's how we're gonna wrap up January. Great month, great stuff. February is so far Yamu month. and look forward to that.
Yes. So far it's gonna be Yamu month.
So we're gonna go over to our post show, but if ever you're gonna catch the February wrap up podcast, which isn't gonna be the only thing we're gonna do now. By the way, I'm back in shape. I almost got killed by a volcano, so but we're back in shape. We're gonna be back to regular programming, and we'll see you next time.